morning. Good morning. We do have some guests this morning. Let's see, Jenny. I can't remember her last name. Jenny. Let's see, Jenny White. It's glad to have you with us. Yes. All right.
You're a smart man.
All right. Good deal. We do have Joe Westfall, and Rick is not here to introduce you, so that's trouble.
Oh, I did, it's fine.
Yeah, we will have to do some adjustments on that. Scott, you have a pro guest, is that correct? We'll hold off on the introduction of pro, if that's okay with you. Okay, several items. All right, we got one other guest up here. Mr. Steiner, would you be kind enough?
Yeah, that's fine.
His name, wait a minute, his first name is?
Wayne.
Thank you.
Yes. Thought you catch me, didn't you?
Yes.
It's my privilege to introduce to the club this morning, Wayne Orr.
Thank you. All right, good deal. All right, we have several items. Just quickly, first of all, and this was a nice article in the Hickory paper dealing with the Sunrise Rotary Club plans Halloween dance. Nice article. There's no picture, so we'll pass that by. But the contact person is Bob Steiger. So get a chance. Have you read this?
No, sir. But I figured for $1, I'm going to read it all
All
right.
right. Good deal. All right.
You could have bought that for 75 cents.
That was a nice article. So if you haven't read it, it tells Halloween dance and all. Bob Steiger's name is in there, so I need $1 for that. All right. You know, 2 weeks ago, we had the district governor, and, you know, he did an excellent program, and I was impressed. I called on Richard Tucker and asked him 2 questions about the Rotarian magazine, and he answered both of those. I mean, I was impressed with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him another chance to see how well he's read these Rotarian magazines. Richard, it's very, very easy. The front cover of this September's Rotarian magazine, do you know what it is? Just if you'll give me the broad picture of what's here.
I cannot.
Oh, sure you
You
do.
I
cannot.
haven't got my magazine yet.
Whoa, whoa.
Me neither.
Sergeant, look over here. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Got $50 this morning.
Hey, it's Donald.
Oh, look. Oh, yeah. Sarah, good morning. How are you this morning?
Good.
Good morning, sir.
That's how he gets away with it.
I confess, I stole your badge, sir.
All right, good.
I'll pay your fine, I stole your badge.
Hey, Miss Sarah, good morning. How are you?
If you hadn't bought Sarah, I would
Man with many faces.
All right. I'll get you around.
I would never have confessed.
Well, I have to stop what I'm doing right now. Steve,
Hang on, hang on.
Fix me, man. Thank you, I
and
appreciate
secondly,
it.
a report. Okay.
Yes, I have as my guest this morning, my queen of 43 years this year.
Still on.
And spoke with my son last night, and he said they're hanging in there. Kids are going back to school on Thursday and sort of getting some normalcy back in their lives. So he was real upbeat and told me.
Excellent.
I want to say that I know I've known Sarah for a lot of years, and not only is she a queen, but to have put up with you for 43 years.
I'm glad she gave me a 5 because I'm gonna take another $1.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Miss Sarah's worth it, thank you.
Sarah, may I ask you a question, please? Steve was late this morning. Can you give me a reason why he's late? I know it wasn't because of
Personal, be quiet.
Oh, was it because of oh, no, I won't find that.
Yeah,
I was
Steve,
Okay, all right, Richard. Okay,
But let me just say, the only thing I can say is, I just remember there was a lot of tall buildings, that's all I can remember.
tall buildings. All right, I will accept
I
that.
didn't get the message, but I did look.
Okay, all right.
That's in Toronto.
So, how did you determine there were tall buildings on the front
If
cover?
you didn't get the magazine.
Is it the truth?
It's, yeah.
I just happened to glance at your Rotarian magazine.
Okay, all right, well, that's
You never said we
reasonable.
couldn't.
All right,
It's using
I'll
your
go back with the
resources.
question. Let
Right.
Steiger answer this
Yeah,
one.
he got his magazine.
All right, Bob.
That's good. Yes, sir.
All right,
Oh,
Toronto. Stand here
Yes.
is the international convention.
correct, that's
Where-
next year
Where is it gonna be held?
in Toronto.
Toronto. Okay.
Yes.
How did you determine that?
You just said it.
I know. I'm trying to help out as much as I can. All right, good deal. All right, the last one. The last one. You get the magazine, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's applicable to you. The last page of the Rotarian magazine, that's all I ask on page 64, what is it?
The last page.
Yeah, the last page, that won't take it. All right, the last look,
Oh,
literacy.
literacy.
So it's actually, I need $1 from you. You can take, that picture will be appropriate for you.
Do I have another one in there?
You want a
I'm
question?
asking, do I have another dollar in there?
No, you're
I've
okay.
exhausted
No,
all the dollars.
you have $2 out of your
She
pocket.
can have one of them. You got one of them.
Oh, all right.
Don't train no money to come out of your pocket. I get it back, get your money back, I just paid for you. No, I just paid for you.
All right, good deal.
I would Richmond.
Oh.
President Field, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so
Yes,
much. All right, for visitors, you've just experienced one of our major fundraisers for the club.
Breathing,
Wayne
existing,
comes through the room and money
Drops.
just flies out of pockets.
Roxas.
Okay, I know we have a program. We're due out of here at 8 o'clock promptly today. We think we don't need to vacate at 10 till. Visitors, what's going on is the science building isn't quite up to snuff yet, and so they're sometimes using this room that we usually meet in for a classroom for a class at 8 o'clock. Soup kitchen, our soup kitchen duties are Friday, the second Friday of the month. And looking at my calendar, it looks like it's 2 days from now. And I didn't see in the bulletin.
No, it's next Friday.
Everybody.
Dan Green and Donald Hicks.
I think it's next Friday.
I thought Friday was the first.
Friday's not the first.
Today's only the 6th.
Yes.
It's gonna be Friday.
Yes, wasn't, according to my calendar,
Oh,
Friday.
you
was
are
the
correct. You are correct, Phil
What?
Trick.
First. Okay.
Was
The
it
first
really?
was Friday.
All right,
Oh,
so
okay.
we are on
So
2
that's
days
it.
from now.
Yeah, the
Good call.
second Friday. Okay, and we have
I
Dan
totally
Green.
was going to take the blame for that one, wasn't I?
It's all right, we were confused, but now we know.
Okay. There's another, don't take my seat, that's another $1.
Everybody tell everybody.
All right, good deal. Dan Green, Donald Hicks on duty.
Dan Green and Don Hicks, are you guys set for
We're
soup
good.
kitchen? Any problem?
Dan and I good.
Good, excellent, thank you. I was going to ask Rick Van Det about the Vietnam Memorial Wall coming in.
I can talk to that.
Thank you, please do.
So at 9 o'clock on Friday morning in Conover, the Traveling Vietnam Memorial Wall will be open. The opening ceremony will be at 9. Multiple JROTC units from Hickory, Maiden, Newton Conover, and St. Stephen's will present colors. There is a Hickory High student whose grandfather fought for the South Vietnamese. She's a Vietnamese child. And her grandfather fought for the South Vietnamese army. And then after we left, the North Vietnamese obviously captured him, tortured him, da-da-da. She is going to read that story to the assembly. And then there will be a playing of taps by Hickory High Bugler, and then I think St. Stephen's has the student that's going to sing the national anthem. And then the wall will be open from 9 o'clock Friday morning until, I think, dusk on Monday the 11th. And on the 11th, they will also do some 9/11 type
Which
stuff.
park will it be in?
In Conover?
Yeah,
At,
Conover Station or where?
yeah, Conover Station.
Yep. That's what so that's 9 a.m. Friday. If you can make that, that would certainly be good. Thank you.
Which means it'll be around back by the pavilion.
Yeah.
Not much parking there.
Well, there is in back,
So we have
better in back.
we have plenty of opportunities from Rotary International, well, from the district on up, for hurricane relief. funds. I'm getting plenty of emails bouncing back and forth about just how we may handle that. I would suggest as a club that we hang on for a couple of weeks and let everything settle out so we know how best we might participate in that. That'll be an opportunity for us to be involved in. As I said in my prayer, we may have an opportunity to be involved in hurricane relief if Irma doesn't turn to the east soon, turn to the north and then east to the soon. So let's hang on to that. I'll keep you posted on what I hear. I'm going to a meeting this evening of the local presidents, and I'm sure that'll be something we talk about. Anything we need to talk about on the dance?
No, I just wanted sort of, kind of an update. Has anybody sold any more advertising to date?
Actually, I have, but one of the problems I have that I mentioned to Bob is the flyer that we got doesn't mention where the money goes to.
I said that
It's
very early
it's
on.
not on there, and when I try to send it to people for sponsorship, and they ask what it's for, it's not there. So I need to get with Kenny and ask him if he can electronically send another one out so that we can have that to use to forward to people for sponsorship.
Yeah, we're gonna change that today.
Actually, I mentioned that on the tickets. I said it was not on the tickets.
Yeah, BB&T is asking for it and somebody else is asking
And I
for
thought he said it was on the poster.
it. It's not.
It is not.
It's just a duplicate of the poster.
It's not on
there.
Yeah.
So
Can I-
we'll change that today. In fact, he's making more posters today.
Can I raise a question for the club to consider? I think we're gonna start raising a lot of money over the next year or so. And I don't think it should all necessarily just be earmarked for scholarships.
I agree.
I think we should find a way to express who we would serve and how we would serve in a little bit different set of words.
Okay. We'll take it.
Okay, thanks about that. Wayne, not Sergeant at Arms, Wayne. We're not sure how to spell your last name.
O-R-A-M.
O-R-A-M. Thank you. And now, Bob tells me that you would like to tell us something.
Yes, I
So
would.
please do.
I appreciate y'all inviting me out in the middle of the night. I'm retired, so that's anything.
How tired are you?
But anyway, I'm here on behalf of St. Albans Episcopal Church. I don't know, I know Dan knows about it. We go to church together. But I don't know about the rest of you, if you've ever had any deals. I know Austin had. But anyway, we're having our annual Lobster Fest, and I hope everybody likes lobsters. But the Lobster Fest consists of a lobster meal, which is $30, and that's a 1.5 to 2 pound lobsters. And by the way, these lobsters are actually driven down here to us from Maine live. So they are really, really good. But anyway, you get a lobster, corn on the cob, slaw, and a roll. And that's $30. It's eat in or take out. You can get just a lobster that's cooked, which is $26, or a live lobster to go, which is $24.
Boiled, baked, or steamed?
They're steamed.
Okay.
Yeah, and, well, no, I'm sorry, they're boiled. They're boiled. But St. Albans, I'm very proud to say, do a lot, and all this, all the proceeds, every penny will go to outreach. And I know Austin can attest to what St. Albans does for the soup kitchen. I'm part of the outreach committee, and Sunday before last, we gave away $19,000, and we're a small parish, but we do a lot of things. So anyway, I would like to. I'm not going to stick around and take up any more of your time, but I've got these info cards that I'll send around. But in the event I don't have enough of them here, you could go by Bob's at the Auto Fitness Center. Leave a check with your name and phone number on it as to what, and mark what you want, and I will come by and pick it up and leave the stub. And it's September the 30th, which is a Saturday. So thank you again very much for giving me this time.
Thank you. Thank you. St. Albans, St. Albans is the location for the packing Rise Against Hunger, is that right?
It is. Correct.
So thank you for providing us.
That is if you've never participated in that, that is a blast.
Yeah, if not all of us.
I know
almost
you
all of
have,
us.
I've seen you.
I think all of us have been there.
Yeah.
One of the packing parties for sure. All right, thank you very much, and we'll be sure and keep your fundraiser in mind.
Thank you very much.
October 3rd.
I will say that Richard and I got a lobster meal from St. Albans last year, and it was off the chain. I mean, it was just super good. It was fresh. Like I said, that truck was still sitting there from Maine. It's just well worth it.
Send this one up too.
Great, thank you.
I'm close enough, I can find them.
All righty. Scott, we best get going on the program. So
All right, sure.
I'll turn it over to you.
I'm very pleased to have with me today Jeff Dalgas. Jeff is the Human Resources Director for United Beverages of North Carolina. He also serves on the boards for the Catawba Valley chapter of the Society for Human Resource Management, CVCC's Manufacturing Academy, and the Center for Commercial and Social Entrepreneurship at Lenore-Rhine. He's here today primarily to talk about his role as co-chair of this year's TEDx Hickory. Many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with TED Talks. There are also local versions, I guess you would say, of TED Talks. And he's been involved with it from the beginning, correct?
That's correct. 6 years.
I'll let you tell us more about it.
Try to get right from here.
Yeah.
Wherever you're comfortable. You can see we're not too terribly formal in this.
Let's get up here so you can see me. So has anybody been to a TEDx Hickory? I know you have. So, okay, has anybody heard about TEDx Hickory?
Oh, yes.
And then TED Talks, everybody's familiar with that? So I'll start, before I talk about TEDx Hickory, I'll just give it for anybody that hasn't heard about the whole TED experience. I'll start with TED. TED stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design. And it's a nonprofit devoted to spreading ideas. And the key to TED Talks are that they're in short, powerful presentations of 18 minutes or less. So if you can think about presenters taking their life's work and condensing that into 18 minutes, that's really where the real power of TED comes from. And originally, like I said, it was technology, entertainment, and design, and now it's really expanded to be any, what they call, idea worth spreading. So the tagline for TED is ideas worth spreading, and that's what we try to bring here to Hickory as well. There's just to give you some perspective on TED, the national organization. This is a very prestigious event. It's a ticket is, what do you think a ticket costs? Take a guess, somebody.
$50.
$2,500.
Close, $5,000.
Yeah.
And you can't just buy one, actually. You have to apply for a ticket. And then they will possibly grant your application, and then you have the privilege of paying the $5,000. Now, the reason that they cost this much is because they give away a tremendous, what they call a swag bag, right? So they get the first iPod debuted in a TED bag that people receive as attendees. And some of the famous talkers: Ken Robinson, David Blaine, Bono, Bill Gates, Pope Francis. So it runs the gamut. Jane Goodall. Can you think of Jane Goodall condensing her life's work into an 18-minute talk? I mean, so that's what it's all about. Billy Graham, Steve Jobs, and John Wooden. So far, there's been 2,190 speakers at TED. So what's TEDx? TEDx, we all, not many people are going to be in that category where they can drop $5,000 on a ticket. And that's the face value. Who knows what it goes for on StubHub? All kidding aside. So what TED did was they created TEDx. TEDx is a program designed to help communities and organizations and individuals take that TED-like experience to their local communities. And along the same lines, ideas worth spreading. So that's what TEDx Hickory is. It's our attempt to bring a TED-like experience to our community. And our motivation is to highlight the amazing people, causes, history, and achievements that exist in and around Hickory. That's our primary goal. We also bring people from other parts of the country to Hickory to share their innovative ideas and concepts. So our main goal is, after you've experienced TEDx Hickory, you'll leave inspired and talking about the things you learned and talking about the amazing things that you didn't know about Hickory. So I'm going to do a did you know. So did you know that we have a farmer who lives in the High Point area, and he teaches people in third world countries how to create self-sustaining gardens using shipping containers and the principles of aquaponics. Not too far from here, but that's happening. Did you know that Iredell Museum has a 3,000-year-old mummy? It's the only mummy in North Carolina.
Wow.
And there's an amazing story about how that mummy got here, and that is on TEDxHickory.com. That was a talk last year. Did you know there was a poet in this room that presented last year?
That we knew.
I saw it. It's on YouTube.
It is. It is. Actually, all 53 of our TEDx Hickory talks are available on YouTube, and to access them, you just simply go to TEDxHickory.com, and there's a media tab. So the best way I can explain why why we do TEDx Hickory and what it is to talk about some of the past speakers, which I've just alluded to, but there's a few that I wanted to highlight. There's things that happened that I didn't even know were things. Rock stacking. Has anybody ever heard of that? This is a Zen thing where you stack rocks.
Yeah.
And it's quite amazing. And the structures, if you were to Google rock stacking, pretty amazing what people can do and the structures they can build. As a matter of fact, we had Philip and Venus Bowman. They live in Taylorsville, and they came here to TEDx Hickory a few years ago, and they stacked rocks on the stage, which was very controversial because everybody was worried about what would happen if the stack fell. Which it almost did. But it was an amazing thing, and that's something that if you've ever been walking down or along the Catawba River and you've seen a random group of stacks of rocks in the river, that most likely was the product of Phil and Venus Bowman, and they actually have a Catawba Valley Rock Stackers Association. They created that, and they will all descend upon Catawba River and build stacks and leave them there until they fall apart.
Jeff, you know, one of the creeks up on Grandfather Mountain is named Stack Rock Creek.
Yeah.
I think that ought to be the location of an international gathering.
Yeah, you know, and they were such amazing people. I still keep in touch with them, and to see what they were all about, we actually had to travel to their house, which they built themselves. They own multiple acres in I don't know what mountain in Taylorsville. Anyway.
Bear. Bakers and Mountain. Bear Mountain.
Brushy Mountain.
One of the two. They live on the mountain, and they own many acres there, and there's stacks everywhere. And as I was interviewing them to determine if they would be able to pull this off on stage, I was treated to a acoustic bath, which is, if you've never had one, I was fully clothed. I stood in front of a giant cymbal that they gonged, and so this is the type. I mean, they're amazing people, and they brought some of that character to our stage and showed rock stacking. Then we have Bill Carson. He is his talk was saving the good stuff, and Bill he's a former IBMer, and he's actually a rocket scientist, and he lives in Little Switzerland, North Carolina. He dedicates himself to organizing. To his own organization that celebrates the disappearing values of our region and preserves them through music, storytelling, and cultural events. And he brought that to TEDx. Eugene Brown, The Parallels of Life and Chess. Eugene robbed a bank. He went to jail for 18 years. He learned to play chess, and that turned his life around. Eugene took his experiences and he helped at-risk youth avoid the pitfalls common in urban environments by teaching them chess. And his statement to them was, think before you move. So that was the idea of chess. You have to think before you move. He brought that to TEDx Hickory stage. Incidentally, there was a movie made about him starring Cuba Gooding Jr.
I saw it. It was good.
It is. It's called The Life of a King. It's a really good movie. And he lives here in Hickory now. How did that happen? Well, he's here. So this is TEDx Hickory. These are the stories that exist right under our nose that we don't know about. And a lot of us we don't know. One of my favorites was a very, and I mean this as a compliment, a very regular, ordinary person, Donna Murray. Her talk was Technology in a Special World. Donna is now a digital teaching and learning consultant with the North Carolina Public Instruction Department. But Donna's daughter is physically disabled, and she can't move without braces, which are actually an exoskeleton. And so braces that she wears because her joints never fully developed. So she actually couldn't move her arms and fingers on her own, but with the braces, it actually gives her the ability to do that. Almost, I could be saying it wrong, but almost taking the place of ligaments that I don't believe fully formed. But through research and dedication, okay, so also her daughter is but a regular person in every other way, growing at a rapid rate. And she needs this exoskeleton system to move and to have a somewhat normal life. So through dedication and research, Donna teamed up with a doctor who used a 3D printer to print the parts for the exoskeleton to expand it over time, and he would FedEx them to her. And so if the exoskeleton was not working because she was growing or there was a part broke, she could email the doctor, send him some measurements, and within one day have the part, and she's back in business, and her daughter's able to move around. So that's a story that it just blew me away, that you know, the dedication of Donna, and then the ability of technology to make something like that happen. It's quite amazing, and happening right here in our area. And then David Eller. This is one that I would like to. Actually, David did an amazing job. His is 17 minutes and 54 seconds. So he was right under the 18 minutes. And he took a topic and that he could go on for, and it's a movie, which he helps produce. And he could go on for days speaking about the miracle of Hickory. Is anybody familiar with the miracle of Hickory?
He actually has been here a couple of times to talk to us about it as well.
So fantastic. So you know the story, and that is, I think, the epitome of a TED Talk, because the passion, the knowledge, the power, and then the story of what that means for Hickory. That was something I would have liked to show today, but with the time constraints, I obviously wouldn't do that, and I guess it works out fine because you've already heard about the miracle direction and source. But that is, those are just a few examples of TEDx Hickory and why it's really important for our area. And I think you know, these are ideas worth spreading for sure. So far we've had 53 talks. We're coming into our 66th TEDx Hickory. That'll be in November 18th. But just to give you an idea of who does all this, TEDx Hickory, it's an annual day-long event. We're in our 6th year. On average, TEDx is a group of about 15 organizers. On the day of the event, we expand that with volunteers to about 30 or 35. We rely on sponsorship and ticket sales to put on the event. Organizers make no money from the event. It's a labor of love. Our license allows us to sell 100 tickets at this time. Our fundraising goals are to raise funds to put on a great show, and then to build reserves so that we can apply for a license that will allow us to sell up to 250 or in the future 500 tickets. So what can you do? The best thing you can do is attend. I would challenge you all to attend a TED Talk. And the other thing you can do is, if you can't attend, spread the word, please. Another thing, do you have a compelling story? apply to speak. We're taking applications through September 18th. And then the other thing people can do, and you know, I have to say it, is you can support the cause. If you'd like to sponsor the event, that's something that we can also do. But at least attend. TEDx Hickory is November 18th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The door opens at 9 for networking. It's right here at LR, it's Belt Centrum. And then tickets are $30 through September 30th. And then after that, they're $40. So that is a little bit about TEDx Hickory.
Date again, please.
November 18th.
November
November
18th.
18th. Doors open at 9 and it's 10 to 4.
Jeff, how many speakers is it usually?
Our goal is to have 10 speakers and 2 performers, and that's what we've been able to do for the most part.
Gotcha.
Over the 5 previous years.
Now, you were saying there's just 100 tickets?
Yeah, we have to apply for a license through TED, and it's really a highly controlled process. And to make sure that the quality of the experience is top notch, they start you off with 100. The way to expand that from 100 is for one of the organizers to attend. So the requirement is that we have to attend a TED event. Okay. Now, being organizers, we can usually get discounts on tickets and this and that, but the catch is you have to send an organizer you have to send one of the main organizers who's kind of run the event, and that person has to be willing to do it again. So that's why we've started to diversify and have co-organizers. So each of the past 3 years, we've had 2 people organize. So right now we have really 5 people that are eligible because one dropped off our ranks, but 5 people that are eligible to attend a TED event. And we get emails and we constantly look at them and try to determine what if we can.
Those 2 bodies cost you $10,000?
Well, we wouldn't send 2. They would. But like I said, because we're organizers, we do get a discount, usually 50% discount. So sending
Still
2 people would be, it's a lot.
Jeff, what's the website for ordering tickets?
Ordering tickets is tedxhickory.com, and then there's a 10 button on the top of the page. Thank you for asking. Click on that, and it brings you right to our Eventbrite page, and purchase as many tickets as you would like. Well, no, not exactly. We've sold about 40 so far, and so we have 60. We can buy 60 tickets.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
We have formalities.
Oh,
we have to go through. So this is a little memento from us. Thank you for speaking as a Rotary Wayne, our secondary fundraiser of the organization. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Well, fellow Rotarians, don't forget the October 3rd banquet that Bob's going to tell us about.
The CART program in this district has a hero over in the Valdez Club, and Bruce Bingham has gotten Grace Ridge. This is a good news, bad news story. He's gotten Grace Ridge to provide their facility. A third of their residents are Alzheimer's or dementia afflicted individuals. They provide a gorgeous meal. You had one.
I did. It was an excellent program.
And the facility, if you look at Grace Ridge online, is an outstanding. It has both homes and condos and apartment-type living for individuals. And they, on October 3rd, are again sponsoring the CART banquet. And it was $30, and every penny of it goes to, and they limited the tickets to 164. All of that money goes to CART. It goes straight down to South Carolina, goes right into the fund. And one of the ambitions this year, and thankfully there will be enough funds to support it, is to husband one of the researchers. You know, we have done the grant and apply and donate mechanism for funding Alzheimer's researchers. Now the ambition is to take one under our wing as a district and fund him fully ourselves. And so this will be the stepping stone for that. Unfortunately, the bad news is all the tickets are sold, as far as anybody else wanting to go. But it is good to know that it's happening, and it is a splendid opportunity to join the community around that subject.
Speaking of Alzheimer's, our good fellow Rotarian Richard Tucker has shared with me an interesting story here that we can use for sunshine today. Recently, I was diagnosed with AAADD, Age-Activated Attention Deficit Disorder. This is how it manifests. I decide to water my garden. As I turn on the hose in the driveway, I look over at my car and decide it needs washing. As I start toward the garage, I notice mail on the porch table that I brought up from the mailbox earlier. I decide to go through the mail before I wash the car. I lay my car keys on the table, put the junk mail in the garbage can under the table, and notice that the can is full. So I decide to put the bills back on the table and take out the garbage first. But then I think, since I'm going to be near the mailbox when I take out the garbage anyway, I may as well pay the bills first. I take my checkbook off the table and see that there's only one check left. My extra checks are in my desk in the study, so I go inside the house to my desk where I find the can of Pepsi I've been drinking. I'm going to look for my checks, but first I need to push the Pepsi aside so that I don't accidentally knock it over. The Pepsi's warm, and I decide to put it in the refrigerator to keep it cold. As I head toward the kitchen with the Pepsi, a vase of flowers on the counter catches my eye. They need water. I put the Pepsi on the counter and discover my reading glasses that I've been searching for all morning. I decide I better put them back on my desk, but first I'm going to water the flowers. I set the glasses back down on the counter, fill a container with water, and suddenly spot the TV remote. Someone left it on the kitchen table. I realize that tonight when we go to watch TV, I'll be looking for the remote, but I won't remember that it's on the kitchen table. So I decide to put it back in the den where it belongs. But first, I'll water the flowers. I pour some water in the flowers, but quite a bit of it spills on the floor. So I set the remote back on the table, get some towels, and wipe up the spill. Then I head down the hall trying to remember what I was planning to do. At the end of the day, the car isn't washed, the bills aren't paid, there's a warm can of Pepsi sitting on the counter, the flowers don't have enough water, there's still only one check in my checkbook, I can't find the remote, I can't find my glasses, and I don't remember what I did with the car keys. Then when I try to figure out why nothing got done today, I'm really baffled, because I know I was busy all the damn day and I'm really tired. I realize this is a serious problem and I'll try to get some help for it, but first I'll check my email. Do me a favor, forward this message to everyone you know, because I don't remember who the hell I've sent it to. Don't laugh. If this isn't you yet, your day is coming. It is so true. It's like my day now that I'm retired. It's what happens. And my wife will come home from work and say, well, how did it go today? I don't know. I've been busy. I've been busy all day. I don't know what I've got done. So thank you, Richard, for sharing that with us. All right. How are we doing, folks? Is there anything else that we need to discuss this morning before we call it a day? Hearing nothing, then.
Of the things we think, say, or do,
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? God bless.
Thank you for being